And when I'm talking to you, if you find something interesting and you have a question, so you don't forget it at the end of the lecture, I want you to raise your hand. Do not feel intimidated. I want us to feel very warm together.
When you read someone, what do you tell them?
I tell them their past, what happened when they were a child, their future, what's going to happen in 6 days, 6 months
Which is what she did just now, folks, as far as I was concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah. And tell us about your program. Well, you told us about in the workings and spirituality in America. What is happening here?
We're so thirsty, we need a drink of water. I mean, people are reaching out for spiritual programs, spiritual messages. Everyone's looking for an answer.
Yes.
That's why a lot of people come to me.
Yes.
Because actually I'm a spiritualist, that's what I do.
You have to be intellectual, you have to be logical, you have to use that side of your brain, but you also have to go with your primal feelings, and that will help you in your everyday life, believe me. And that's what I hope to do when I give these lectures. I'm going to teach people how to, get all these barriers away, and just go back to the little child in us. We have that little child in us.
I know.
And we don't listen to that little child. We always want to be the adult.
I was born in Newark, New Jersey, to a Mary and a Samuel. Little did they know that their little baby was a psychic baby. And we lived in an apartment house. And we had fire escape on the back. You know how those fire escapes look, right? And I was 4 years old, and I was sitting on the fire escape. I think I was like 5 levels up, and I was watching my mother, and she was hanging laundry. And there was a woman sweeping, and she was the superintendent. And it didn't look like it was a dangerous situation, but in my mind I was thinking, that woman is going to pick that broom up, and she's going to hit my mother in the head and knock her out. And just before it happened, it happened. But it was like in my little mind I saw it. And I went to scream out, "Mama!" And with that, the woman picked up the broom, she hit my mother in the head, and my mother had a concussion. They had to take her to the hospital. The woman had postpartum depression. She didn't, it was one of those fluky things. But in my little mind, I saw this happening before it actually happened. So that was my first recollection. Thereafter, many things happened. But I didn't really realize what was happening in my life. I never discussed it with anyone. Because I thought everyone thought like I did. I'm a holistic psychic. I read your body, I read your spirit. I'll tell you what illnesses you have. Very often I'll say to a woman, "You're pregnant." She'll say, "No, I'm not," and she indeed is. It's documented, and then they'll say, "Well, you were right. I was pregnant. I was like 3 weeks pregnant. I didn't even know it at the time." I will diagnose diabetes or... It's a very, very personal thing. When you come to me, the reading is very personal, and everyone's different. And I do telephone readings, too, for people in California, Arizona, sometimes Europe. They'll call me from Europe.
As far as Europe? And by the voice on the phone, you pick up?
Yes, the vibrations and names. I always get names, and I get colors, I get addresses, I get everything. 2 years, what I've been doing nonstop is lectures, which I love. I do my readings at my house, and I do them all over. I do them in Manhattan and Connecticut and whatever. But I've been doing lectures at Barnes & Noble, and it's been a wonderful success. People come, they bring their children. They're like 200, 300 people at a time, New York, New Jersey, Barnes & Nobles. And they do a lot of write-ups about me. Actually, what I do is I do a lecture, but it's a discussion, and I involve everyone in it. The first hour, I talk about my life, the people that, the anecdotes of people that I've read for. And the second part is I put everyone into a trance, and I put them in a meditative state, and then I ask them to write down the impressions they're getting from the people that are sitting next to them. And it's remarkable. People are excited. They go, "Wow, I never knew I could do this." But we all have psychic ability. We just have to learn how to tap into it. I said to Frank, "I have this feeling that my head is in a vice, like I was in a car accident. My head is killing me." I went home that night and I started to throw up. And the next morning I had an anxiety attack. Now I wasn't with my children, they were with their father, they were older. I called up the next day and I said, is Timothy there? And they said, no, he's not there. They didn't want me to know because it was one of those real horrible legal custody battles. They were just being, you know. I called my lawyer and he said, Barbara, do you know that your son's dying? I said, what happened? He was in a car accident. His head was crushed. I said, what time did that happen? 12 o'clock at night. I went to the hospital. My son was dying. He was in a coma. His head was swollen like a balloon. I sat next to him. Now this is the power of God. This is the power of healing. And this is the truth. And I went in there late at night and I prayed over him because they wanted to put a shunt in his brain to take the fluid out. And I prayed so hard and I said, God, I give you my life for my son, if you will save him. And I put my hands on his head and I prayed as hard as I could. And the next day I went in, he was sitting in a chair. And I said, what happened here? And they said, it's a miracle. We don't know, it's a miracle. It went down. We don't have to put the shunt in. That was another occurrence. But I felt his pain. I felt his pain.
I just want to find out if I'm going to meet anybody in the near future.
You're not involved right now, huh?
Excuse me?
You're not involved with someone right now?
So I stayed here and there right now.
Yeah. Are you going to college?
Not presently.
You're going to be going back to school.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You're going to be going back to some kind of schooling, and you're going to meet someone on that basis, all right?
Okay.
I'm going to tell you something. She's not going to have good eyes. She's going to be wearing glasses.
Oh, no, really?
Don't take that personally.
But wait a minute. She's real cute, though. She's cute. She's got brown hair, and she's kind of on the petite side, and she's got real nice legs. I can see her.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be real cute.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You're going to meet somebody. Take my word
Your
for
name?
it. Well, the first thing I wanted to say was a J, and it could be Jane or Jeannie or Jennifer or something with a J.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, call me if you want a reading.
All right, thank you.
Don't lose
Thanks,
hope.
Phil.
You're going to have a girlfriend.
I had no money, when I decided to do this. I had some paintings and some jewelry. And I said to God, listen, I really hate this world, the way it is. I can't stand this monkey muck and trying to keep up. I want to go into the spiritual world. And I got on my knees and I said, God, send me the work and I'll do it the best that I can. Just send me the work and I'll do your will. He sent me so much work that I'm exhausted.